up, guys? Happy New Year, and let's get right into it with The Grudge. Directed by Nicholas Pearce and starring Lin Shaye, John Cho, and Andrea Riseborough, as well as a few others. This one takes place, I believe, between the events of The Grudge 2004 and The Grudge Part 2 2009. And it's another cursed home and another grudge, or Ju-on, whichever you want to call it. So let's get into it. So most people know in the month of January, the movies kind of that we get are not of the best quality. Now, this is not a hard and fast rule. We have had some solid Januaries in the past. I think last year we had some good films in there, but it kind of goes without saying that January is the dump month for mediocre to bad films. That's usually the way it pans out. So when I saw The Grudge was coming out in January, didn't really have much hope for this movie. And I'm not a huge fan of the franchise or anything, but I have seen the Japanese, at least I saw the first two ones, Ju-on 1 and 2. And I also watched the Grudge American remakes, and actually I kind of really like the one with Sarah Michelle Gellar. I thought that was a solid one. So this one was coming out and it looked like a reboot. I think that's what they had in mind initially, and then they decided no, it was going to be a continuation of events that took place. So if you've seen the movie, you know how it continues. If you haven't and you want to, I'm not going to spoil it here for you. But I am going to say this is not a good movie, guys. Sorry, but as horror movies go, this one is not. Okay, let me touch on the good stuff first, because I don't want to be a negative Nelly all the way through. First of all, I think the director Nicholas Pearce, I'm not familiar with his previous work, but I think he has a good eye. This film has a nice look to it. It does have this sense of dread. Of course, they do that kind of colors washed out thing that I'm a bit tired of. It to me, it's kind of tiring on the eyes, but it works for what this is. You know, this is a movie about a cursed house, and it's cursed for reasons. If you've seen the Grudge series, you know why it's cursed. And if you enter the house, that curse attaches itself to you, that sort of thing. So you can understand why the visual this movie, everything looks washed out because everybody's feeling drained and depressed and scared, and all that sort of thing is going on. So I did actually like the look of this film, and I thought it had some solid sound effects in there as well. I thought the sound design was good. The highlight acting wise of this movie is Lin Shaye, and now Lin Shaye has been in the horror game since in like the 80s, right? First for me, I first saw her in Nightmare on Elm Street. I think she plays a teacher there, and then she popped up again. I'm sure she was working all the way through, I'm sure, but her career seemed to like revitalize with the Insidious franchise, and she's amazing there. She's actually what I liked best about that franchise. And then she just started popping up in a bunch of different horror movies, and honestly, all the horror films that I've seen that she's been in, whether it's good, bad, or mediocre, she's the strength of those movies. And the same is said here. Lynn always gives her A game. She always brings her A game. She always gives her best. And she's the strongest thing about this film. When she's on screen, you can tell that she's very passionate about what she's doing. Everybody else just feels like they're going through the motions. And it's such a waste, because I mean, we have talents like Andrea Riseborough, and we have John Cho, and he was so good in Searching, you know. And I also think he's amazing in the Exorcist TV series season 2. By the way, if you haven't seen that, I mean, yes, it got cancelled, but do yourself a favor and check out season 1 and 2 of The Exorcist. That is a solid horror series. I really enjoyed that, and I'm sorry it got cancelled. That said, here he's wasted, or he doesn't have that much to do, or he's not invested. Pick either one. I just feel like everybody else is going through the motions. And then we have the scares, the reason you watch a horror movie. And guys, this movie is not scary. This movie is boring. This movie has a bunch of different characters with different stories going on. It's not as linear or as straightforward as the previous Grudge films, in terms of you may be following one or two people around, everybody here has a story. Everybody here has a secret. Some people make some really stupid decisions, in my opinion, about that house and what's going on there. And I'm bored. The entire time I'm watching, I'm bored, you know, because listen, when you've watched as much horror as I have, or when you're a horror fan, jump scares don't get it done. It just doesn't. This might scare a bunch of teens that go check it out at cinema, and I who knows, maybe that's who they made it for. If you're a fan of this series, I still don't think you're gonna like this movie. I still don't think it's gonna impress you. So I don't know who they were making this for really, but it feels like a wasted opportunity because I do see talent there, and I do see, you know, I mean, the Grudge in itself, it's an interesting thing, the whole curse and everything. And there's places you can take that, and there's things you can do with it. As bad, or I should say as mediocre as Rings was, the premise of Samara being released via the internet is terrifying. And I'm sorry they didn't execute that movie better, because that's a solid premise. And I would have liked to see them do something like that here. But alas, they don't. It's a waste of a movie. It's a waste of viewing time. And honestly, if you never see this movie, you miss nothing. It doesn't add anything to the Grudge franchise in any way, or series of films, whatever you want to call it. So, guys, I'm giving the Grudge 2020 a 4 out of 10. I recommend checking it out, maybe streaming it at home or something. Don't waste your time and watch that. Watch this in cinemas. Honestly, it's a waste of money. Waste of my money. And that's gonna be it, guys. So short and sweet on this one, not much to say. It's not a good movie. And if you liked this video, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button. It's really appreciated. For those of you who might be new, or you might be interested in subscribing, first of all, thank you. And second of all, you can click on my face right over there, and you can check out my past reviews right over there. And that's about it, guys. Hopefully, I don't know if some of you might have noticed, I did not do a best or worst of 2019 for a couple of reasons. I got the flu really badly, and I just kind of got burnt out time wise, and I wasn't feeling well. So this year I skipped the best and worst of last year. But I do have some good news in that I did do a best of the decade, a worst of the decade, and I included a best horror movies of the decade. I got to do that collaboration with a bunch of friends of mine who they have their own channels and blogs and stuff like that. We got together, and it was always a fun. We had a blast doing it. So it wasn't my channel that did it. It was done by the always awesome Matthew Bailey, and I'll put a link to his channel here. But soon, hopefully, he'll have it edited and prepared, and he's promised me that it'll be okay for me to upload it for you guys to check out here. So that'll be cool. At least I've done that. Okay, and that's it now. So until next time, guys. Bye-bye.